This is Dr.RED Panda.
Have you noticed something strange? We live in the safest, richest, most convenient era in human history, and yet more and more people wake up every day feeling empty, exhausted, and unable to find a reason to keep going. This is not a coincidence. I'm Dr. Red Panda, and today we're going to talk about why modern life quietly steals meaning and why it's not your fault. Why do we suffer more the more progress we make? Have you noticed something strange about the world we live in today? For thousands of years, human beings struggled just to survive. We fought disease, hunger, war, nature, and uncertainty. Every day was a negotiation with danger. Yet, in the last 100 years, everything changed at a speed no generation before us could even imagine. We have smartphones, running water, air conditioning, endless entertainment, instant communication, medical care, transportation, and choices. More choices than any civilization in history. By every measurable standard, we should be the happiest humans who have ever lived. But we're not. Instead, more people than ever wake up feeling tired before the day even starts. More people look around and feel disconnected, numb, or trapped in routines they didn't consciously choose. Depression, anxiety, burnout, emotional exhaustion. These have quietly become normal, not the exception, the rule. And what's even stranger is that most of us feel guilty about it. We think, other people have it worse. I have food, safety, a job, a home, technology. So why do I still feel empty? This question is the emotional fingerprint of the modern age. Because our discomfort doesn't come from outside anymore. It comes from inside. In ancient times, pain and stress were physical. Hunger, predators, harsh winters, disease. Today, the fight is psychological. We are not trying to survive nature. We are trying to survive our own expectations, our own comparisons, and a world that never stops demanding more from us. We scroll past thousands of lives every week, each one carefully edited to look perfect, and subconsciously we conclude, I am behind. Something is wrong with me. Modern life has solved almost every external threat, but in its place, it created a new kind of suffering. Direction without purpose, comfort without fulfillment, endless stimulation without meaning. We have everything, and yet feel nothing. Our ancestors never had time to wonder whether life was meaningful. They were too busy staying alive. But we, for the first time in history, have space to ask, what am I doing all this for? And many of us don't know the answer. That is where the crisis begins. When the old life map fell apart. For thousands of years, human beings lived inside a shared system of meaning, a kind of life map that everyone agreed on. You were born into a family, grew up in a community, married, worked, had children, and contributed to society. Survival itself was a clear goal, and every step toward stability felt purposeful. If you worked hard, your family survived. If you married, you gained responsibility and pride. If you believed in religion or tradition, you had direction. And if society told you how to live, you didn't have to question your path. Life might be difficult, but at least it made sense. But in the modern world, this ancient map fell apart almost overnight. Technology, urbanization, globalization, and individualism changed everything. Most people today don't need to fight for food or shelter. Basic survival is no longer the purpose of life. Marriage is no longer a necessity, and for many, not even a goal. Faith, tradition, and national identity have fractured into thousands of competing philosophies. Social media exposes us to millions of lifestyles, opinions, and value systems every day. For the first time in human history, no single worldview dominates. The world became open but also directionless. As a result, the old map no longer tells us where to go. We don't have a universal answer to the questions. How should I live? What makes life meaningful? What is success? Our ancestors didn't have to ask these questions because meaning was handed to them at birth. We, on the other hand, are expected to build meaning from scratch alone. No school teaches us how to do that. No family or institution can guarantee guidance that works in a rapidly changing world. So most people do the only thing modern society rewards: They turn to achievement as a substitute for meaning. We start proving ourselves through work because society measures value in productivity. We prove our existence through efficiency because if you're not busy, you feel invisible. We prove our worth through grades, bonuses, followers, or output because numbers feel safer than emotions. But this leads to a painful paradox. The harder we work, the less fulfilled we often feel. We succeed, but success doesn't answer the question of why we are succeeding. We achieve more than previous generations ever dreamed of, yet feel more anxious, lost, and uncertain. In short, humans are still on a journey, but the old map is gone. The world grew faster than our ability to understand it. And until we learn to draw our own maps, many of us will continue walking quickly, without knowing where we are going. You aren't meaningless. Your meaning was just outsourced. Do you ever feel like you are just going through the motions? Like you are running a race you never signed up for? It's easy to feel like our lives lack purpose in the modern world. But here is the truth. You are not meaningless. The problem is simply that your sense of meaning has been outsourced. Modern society has perfected a very specific lesson for us all. Don't worry about finding your own purpose. Just follow the system. We are taught that if we stay on the conveyor belt, everything will be fine. But look at what actually happens. Education, hot trends, and salary charts decide what our children study, not their curiosity. Career, corporate KPIs, and quarterly goals define our future, rather than our actual contributions or passions. Status, the social gaze, what neighbors, relatives, or strangers think, decides if we are successful. Emotions. Even our moods are no longer our own. They are dictated by the algorithms in our pockets, feeding us anxiety or dopamine on demand. It looks like we have freedom. After all, we have 1,000 choices for everything. But this is an illusion. In reality, we are just being gently but firmly pushed along by a highly sophisticated machine. The conclusion is stark. Modern people haven't lost their meaning. Instead, meaning is being manufactured for you by someone else. You have slowly lost the opportunity and the habit of defining your own life. You are playing a character in a script written by the economy, by technology, and by social pressure. But there is a way out. True liberation doesn't mean quitting your job, throwing away your phone, or running away to live in a cave. True liberation is reclaiming the right to interpret your own life. It is taking back the pen and writing your own definition of success, happiness, and worth, regardless of what the system says. So, I have to ask, when was the last time you made a choice that was 100% yours, untouched by what the world expected of you? Let's talk about it in the comments. And that's a wrap for this episode of the video. I'm DR.RED Panda. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to subscribe and give it a thumbs up. Until next time, take care.